What is up, y'all? My name is Bria, and this is Iman Wellness. I am so glad to be with you here today on this 101-degree day here in Houston, Texas. Sorry, it's my Texas. I'm not from Texas. I shouldn't have did that accent. Anyways, anywho, today's topic, we are going to be talking about constipation. This is for my backed up galleys and gals? How do you say guys? For my backed up bros and hoes. Poor choice. This is going to be for anyone suffering from constipation and bloating. Typically, the advice given for constipation and bloating across the board, you're going to hear increasing your fiber intake, 1, and 2, increasing your water intake. Both very valid and great things to start with. So if you haven't started there, definitely trying to increase the amount of fruits and vegetables you are consuming to increase your fiber intake, while also at the same time increasing your water intake to at least 8 glasses of water a day, about 50 to 60 ounces will also suffice. So if you haven't started there, definitely start there. But this video is going to pertain to people who've already tried that and haven't had any success. These next 3 to 4 tips that I'm going to be giving you are things that you can try in addition to increasing your fiber and water intake. And the first one that I'm going to recommend is to, 1, increase your intake of digestive enzymes. And so digestive enzymes can be found in all of these foods right here. They're naturally found in foods. The body also creates digestive enzymes naturally, but certain things such as stress, issues with your pancreas, also insulin secretion issues or insulin resistance issues can cause issues with digestive enzymes, and a number of other things as well. And I'll also list that right here just so you can see the number of things that can contribute to issues with your digestive enzymes. And so if you are someone that's having issues with constipation, digestive enzymes is a good place to start. Maybe not start. After you've done your fiber and water, digestive enzymes is a good place to look at next. And so you can get them, like I said, naturally in those foods that we listed, but you can also get them in supplement form. And that's a great kind of short-term resolution when you're trying to increase your dietary intake, but also want to get the relief from the constipation. This is by no means sponsored. I really use this brand, and it's just a cheap but also quality brand that I like. And so this is the Now brand, and it's a full spectrum enzyme. And so that means that it contains amylase, protease, and lipase. And what those 3 digestive enzymes do is they break down carbs, they break down fats, and they break down proteins. And so if you're not able to properly break down those macronutrients, you're going to have issues with not only constipation, but also issues with elimination, issues with just your overall health, because so many of those nutrients are needed for proper function in the body. And so if you're not breaking them down, you're not optimally functioning, you might feel sluggish, you might feel tired, you might feel bloated, all the things that kind of can come along with constipation as well. And so definitely I would recommend trying digestive enzymes like 20 to 30 minutes before your meals, and try that for a couple of weeks to see if you're getting relief. Now, as always, before you start any supplement, you definitely want to check in with a licensed physician or a nutritionist or primary care physician, whoever you go to for your medical advice, someone who's trusted and knowledgeable of the situation, especially to your personal story and health. So you want to make sure that these digestive enzymes are not going to interfere with any medications that you're on or any other health issues that you might have. So always double check before you start. Another supplement that I like is Probiotics. This is the same brand, but you can get any brand really. You just want to look for one that is specific to gut health. And so this one in the front, it says GI Probiotics. And so these are strains of bacteria that are helpful to the gut, or have shown to be helpful in scientific studies to the gut. And so if we look at this one, it has lactobacillus, bifidobacterium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these exactly correctly. Scientific words are long and arduous, so sometimes they can be hard to pronounce. But if you look for one that specializes in GI health, then you will definitely be on the right track. And these probiotics are great because they help to support the gut microbiome, and they help to increase the healthy bacteria that we need to support the immune system, to support digestion, to support the lining of the gut, a number of things. And so when that's out of whack, or when the negative bacteria are outweighing the good bacteria, you can start to see issues with elimination and, of course, constipation as well. So those two together, the digestive enzymes with the probiotics, are a great pair to try and help support a healthy, regular bowel movement. The next thing I would recommend is to try and walk for 10 to 15 minutes after your meals. A lot of times we feel sluggish, we feel tired, we might feel bloated after a meal. And so the last thing we want to do is walk. But walking is really going to help to support that digestive process, to kickstart things and get the motility in the intestines. Motility really just means the movement, that pulsation that we need to help push everything out. And so exercise, for just go on a 10 to 15 minute walk if you can. Of course, it's not going to be feasible after every single meal, but at least maybe at your heaviest meal, try and go on a walk just to support that bowel movement for the day. And also another thing that can be helpful, tip number 3, I would say, would be to try and do like an abdominal massage. And so what I mean by that is trying to use your hands to kind of encourage a bowel movement. This is something you can do as an alternative if you're not able to go on a walk. Maybe you can do some abdominal massage. And I'm gonna link this handout right here. It's just, I believe it's 7 steps that you can do to kind of encourage that motility in the gut. And basically some of the steps you'll see is you want to move in a clockwise motion. You can use both hands, you can use thumbs, whichever you prefer, but just trying to move things up, over, and down, because that's the natural flow of digestion. And then also you can come from the back to the front. That's going to stimulate the nerve that controls the large intestine. And so you can kind of press on there with your thumbs. And be careful, you want to do it, from what I've read and from what I've tried, it can, encourage a bowel movement pretty quickly. So if you're in a setting or a place where you don't really feel like dropping a load or having a bowel movement, definitely consider waiting until you're in a safe space. I work in a hospital, so I hate when I have to use the bathroom at work. I'm just like, oh my God, please, not right now. I just prefer to be in my own house, my own privacy. So that's something I might do in my home. And that's something that you might want to try in a space where, one, you have a toilet you feel comfortable using, and also feel comfortable. Okay? And the last bonus tip that I'm going to give is to try a Squatty Potty. Squatty Potties are great because they basically kind of push the pelvis up and your knees up so that you're kind of bearing down on the intestines. And it's just a more supportive position to encourage a bowel movement. Back in the day, before we had toilets, you would just squat and relieve yourself. And so that is the body's natural way and position of elimination. And so it's kind of, it more so, I guess, triggers a bowel movement. And so it's just very supportive. And so if you don't want to purchase a Squatty Potty, you can always just get a bucket, a little stool, maybe a little ladder or something, and just put your feet up on there so that your knees are up, your pelvis is kind of pushed back, and it can support a bowel movement. And so they use them a lot, I think, in Japan and all over the country, and so it's a great option if you need a little extra support. And so I will link some Squatty Potties in the link below. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. This was just a quick segment on ways to support constipation and regular bowel movements. I hope you all have enjoyed. And if it's successful for you, leave a thumbs up down below. That'll be our little inside joke that you were able to have a successful bowel movement. So hopefully we get a ton of thumbs up and reduce the constipation, because We can't be walking around bullshit. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for allowing me to share space with you today, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, thanks. Bye.
All right, Justin, turn me up a little bit.